And welcome back to Career Build Series, episode 178. So I had an issue with OBS where I went live instead of recording, and it screwed up the video. So if you want to have some continuity between episodes 177 and 178, I'm going to link the live stream in there. Again, it was not supposed to be a live stream, so if anyone was in the chat and felt like I was ignoring them, I did not notice until 40 minutes in that it was streaming and not recording. So OBS, in its infinite wisdom, puts the streaming button literally right next to recording. So I clicked on what I thought was recording, and it was streaming. So if you want some continuity between where I was at episode 177 and where I'm at right now at 178, go ahead to the stream. So let's continue here. I'm working on this loco. I've added in an engine microcontroller. I'm adding in my actual locomotive microcontroller here. And I'm trying to get these systems working. So these systems are a little bit weird. This system here is the locomotive control, and then this one is going to be for engine, and I've kind of separated these. And so I'm kind of trying to integrate these and play with these. And so... Okay, why are you not running now, engine? And I just pulled the side panel off, and I'm going to pull it off, put the side panel back on. I'm going to pull it off again. This way I can look at the engine, see what it's doing, see why it's misbehaving. And so let's go ahead and try to get a start here. Let's just spawn it and try to start it. And if I have an engine hiccup, I'll go back there and figure it out. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so it's, I think I know what it might be. Let's see, logic here. Composite. Nope, that's not it. I literally just had this running a second ago. Why are these all disconnected now? That's fine. Multi-loco, connector, panel. Throttle. Let me look through this really quick. I just literally had this running 2 seconds ago, and then now the circus came to town and nothing's running. So let me see what's up. Let me check one thing. That's running there. This should be running. I don't know why it's not running. Let's take this clutch out for now and try to fire it up, see if it's something with the clutch. Okay, now it's definitely not that. Let's figure out what's up with this here. Okay. Alright, so we have throttle clamped at 4, so we should be getting running at 4. That's less than that. Switch it to negative. Okay, this is probably maybe what's doing it here. Let me see what's up here. So this I don't need, I don't think anymore. Throttle is just doing... Okay, let me try this here, see if this fixes it. It's kind of annoying. I literally just had this running and then try to fix my issues with OBS. Now it will run. Why you do this to me? Okay, do I not have fuel anymore? Huh. Did I break something in here that makes me not have fuel? Interesting. That could have been it. That doesn't appear to have any fuel. Fluid level there. I have infinite electricity. Not showing any Huh. I had diesel in this before. Okay, I wonder if it did the new thing where it empties the tank. Yeah, but that's what it is. That's annoying. It's one of the new things with the new workbench. It's not a big deal with the way fuel management works, but it's that's showing 0 fuel now. So let's spawn this. Let's go into infinite fuel. Kick on infinite fuel, and let's go ahead and we will try to get this cranked over. So I think that's hopefully what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, now let's try. Let's try make sure my clutch is reconnected here. So clutch is not connected. Let's connect the clutch. Let's try to get this sucker moving here. Okay, set speed should be 0. Clutch should be 0. There, guy. Why would you not give me a 0 clutch on start? Okay, so this should be giving me a 0 clutch on start. Alright, I don't need a generator clutch anymore. That's going. Get rid of that stuff that I don't need. So battery and gen clutch. This is from a different loco, of course, so it's everything's funky, weird. Drive throttle there. Alright, where's clutch? Clutch. Local brakes. Systems master. That's fine there. Okay. Trying to find where my clutch is. Clutch is here, so if clutch is less than 1, numerical switch box there. Pid here. I don't know why it's applying clutch. Let's try to do a start. And let's see where the clutch is, because the clutch, you know, I took the wall off again. A lot of back and forth here. This is just a little annoying. I'm going to leave this wall off until this is 100% running. I keep moving this wall so that I have open access to my engine bay. Eventually I'm going to put some more doors on there so that I can open it up and access the engine, but clutch is 0. Okay. So this is 0. Okay. So setting speed to 30. Did I disconnect the clutch? Probably. Yeah. Alright, having a struggle here. That whole accident live streaming was kind of throwing me here. It's annoying. Alright, see what I can do here. Okay, we're running. It's adding clutch. That's fine. It's very low clutch. Okay, let's see if this is a p-value issue. Alright, what are you doing here, guy? Alright, so let's see what's up. So that's linear speeds going in there. Let me try to figure out why this is misbehaving. Let's hook the reversers up. Reversers should be working. Brakes should be working. Alright, let's go in here. Let's figure out what's up with the clutch. So I'll kind of talk you through this system. You can figure, you know, it's a little bit annoying and complex in here. Okay, so this is all screwed up because of it's trying to run off the other system. So panel comes in here. 3 and 4 or. Okay, so I need to fix all of this crap here. So trying to think the best way to do this. You know what I might do? I think this is just going to be a big pain, and so let's do this. Let's save this. Because again, I'm trying to integrate a different loco system. And so if we look at this, this one I use my keypad to do the, I use arrow buttons to make this work. So I'm trying to think how I want to do this now. Instead of a throttle, do arrow buttons is kind of the thought. Or I can go in there and rip this panel apart and fix it. So let's think here. See, logic, throttles, drive throttles going in. So let's try to get this to work with the drive throttle, because one of the reasons I'm thinking of this is I have to make this work with both sides. So the throttle is going to be a pain. So let's just do this. Let's go back. Let us delete this out. Let's add in a new panel here. I kind of liked having the throttle, but the issue is going to be that if I do it with a throttle, it's going to be a more complicated, annoying system to link the two panels together. If I do it this way, this makes it so that I don't have that issue. And what's this one end at? 12? 12, yep. So we'll make this 13. Yeah, so I think this is just going to be a simpler way so that both sides work fine. And then this will be arrow button to the right, push. That'll be 14. Yeah, I think this is going to be a better system. And then we'll do gauge horizontal. Minimum value, I think it goes left. So that will be, I'll say 65 miles. We'll do it in 65 miles an hour. Maximum negative 65. I'm just trying to get it so that, no, I want that 0, 65. Let's try this. And then on this one here, so that would be 13, was that 14, 15. And then, so this is going to be set speed. Okay, and then this is also set speed. And this one here is going to be a gauge horizontal, and this one's going to be 0 to negative 65. And this one will be 16. So a little bit complex, but let's go. I probably didn't need to make this those numbers. I did for the throttle reason. Okay, so this is going to go now. 2 dash goes there. This one goes here. All right. So, changing my system up a little bit. But I think ultimately this will work better. Moving this stuff is a pain because now it's way over here. But let's look. So right here I have throttle. What I'm going to do is change that out. Oh, not to numerical switch box, thanks. Up-down counter. And so this up-down counter is going to go from, we'll do 0.001. Enable the clamp. Minimum is going to be negative 65, negative 30 for meters per second. This is going to be positive 30 for meters per second. And then what I'm going to do is panel forward here. I'm going to start reading buttons. So I want on offs. This is going to be, what was that? 13 and 14. Okay. All right, so this is going to make it much easier for me to integrate the two panels from either side. And so that's why I'm doing it like this. And then throttle can go. Okay. So just kind of rethinking this. All right. And so then what I need to do is definitely don't want that. I'm trying to think. So this should be trying to think how to do this right. So I want my max clamp value, essentially. So let's go ahead and let's go, minimum is 4, maximum is 10. No. Negative 10, 10. Reset value is going to be, that's fine. Okay, that's going to be fine. I can do this through that. Just kind of thinking to myself here. Then I need a reverser here, so that's going to be there. That's going to go into the clamp there. All right. And so what I need to do is do a function. So if this is, nope. I do need a function, but if this is less than 0, flip it. And then function here. So this will essentially, yeah. So essentially what this is going to do is I'm going to either set, I want negative 10 RPS or positive 10 RPS. I'm trying to think the best way to do this here. I'm like way overcomplicating a lot of this stuff, but I'm hoping it will turn out better by doing it like this. All right, so essentially I'm going to do this. Okay, you know what I want to do instead of this? Let's do this. Let's update this. All right, so what I'm going to do here is this panel here, right? I'll walk you through it. I'll walk myself through it again as well. So essentially what I'm doing here is as I go forward and reverse here, so that's here, what I need is to change this number. This is going to be, forward is going to be 13. Reverse is going to be 14. Okay, so 13, 14. Those are going to come over here. They're going to set this either negative 32 meters per second or positive 32 meters per second. And that's going to set my clutch. So it's going to clutch me forward or reverse. All right. Yep, so that works. Actually, so this actually, I kind of have an idea of how to make this work. So I'm working in thirds. So I'll talk to you, I'll show what I mean in a second here. So what I'm doing here is, actually what I've made here is actually going to work. Let me try something really quick. If I can do a standard engine throttle, I might just do that for right quick. So let me do a constant number of, let's say 5 RPS. Let's plug that in there. Okay. Let's spawn this. Alright, so we're at 5 RPS, no clutch. Now, let's control the speed. Okay, am I actually adding any clutch in there? Now let me make sure all this is, so this wasn't connected, I didn't connect it, so of course it's not going to work. Dummy, I'm a big dummy. So I didn't connect that, so that's no wonder I'm not moving. So this is going to be panel 13, 14. Okay. So let's do this. Let's hook the panel up, see if we're getting what I want. So this needs to be panel. I can go from here as well, actually. Panel. All right. So what I'm going to try to do is I might do a consistent RPM because I did a test where this thing takes off like a shot. So I don't really need more than a solid RPM value. I don't have, I keep thinking I'm sitting in a seat. I'm not, so I go into third person, and it's third person of my character, not the train. Alright, so we're moving, that's good. So I think what I wanted to do here is going to work. So essentially, 30 is my desired thing, RPS there. So I could read this as well. So let me try reading this as well. So I want a max 10. Let's go max 10 there. Let's do this. Yeah, there are easier ways to do this. I'm just trying to figure it out. So, part of the issue is I have it working on two systems. I have it working on the clutch, and I have it working on I'm working on the clutch, and I'm working on the RPS. My other train, my steam piston train, it runs off a constant RPS value, and so I might do that here. Let me try that. I'm not afraid of burning too much diesel. That's not a problem. Let's make that 10. I need to read out my speed. So let me find where I have the speed on here. It should be, was it right there? That is 6. So let's see, logic. All right, so I'm not reading speed on here, so I need to put a speed in here. All right, so we can add a speed. Input speed. All right, and then that should have come up here. Okay, good. So let's go ahead, and I want to read the panel out to dash, and of course I didn't remember to look at the number on that, so let's look at the number on that. 6. Okay, so let's go in here. 6. All right, and where are we at here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. 6 speed. Okay, so let's try to read the speed of this. Update that one, and then what I want is I want the one that is absolute. So that one would be this one. So absolute's going to come up here. And I just kind of want to get a notion of how I'm doing this, and I might change the way this throttles. Okay. All right, so now it's running at 10. Let's start going forward. So it's in meters per second. So 65 is what I'm looking for. So we're currently doing about 50 miles an hour. Okay, so see 30 is where that's 30 meters per second, we're good. So that gets us up to speed there where we want to be. Okay, good. So this is working fine. What's the clutch reading? Okay, so see how low the clutch is? I don't need as much RPS. I might need it with the hauling cars. Okay, so let's recall this. Let's put a ton of weight on this. What happened? What happened? Okay, we're having problems here. Alright, so I've made a mess of this. It's a huge mess. So let me work on it. Kind of frustrating me at this point. My system here is screwing me up. I'm going to make an executive decision. Get rid of that stupidity. That's just being annoying at the moment. So I'm going to work this all through this one panel. I'm going to make this work. So currently, I'm going to read whether I want -10 or I want +10 RPS. Go there. All right. And where's my clutch? My clutch is an auto clutch. Okay, so that's fine. So what I want to do here is, where is my reverse? Do I have reverse? I don't have a reverse in here, so I'm going to run this differently. Trying to make these two panels together it's got me pulling my hair out, man. And so, not literally, I'm not literally pulling my hair out, but close. It's just being obnoxious. So what I'm going to do here is, if this is less than 0, trigger reverse. That's going to be, and speed is, the problem is I need the other speed as well, so that's fine. Why did I move that? This is what I want to move. Okay. So speed, let's see, was that absolute? Absolute. And then this one here should be number input speed. That should be speed directional. Okay, speed directional. All right, so trying to think of the best way to do this here. So now we have an auto clutch, so it's going to always try to get it up to full clutch dependent upon the load. That's going to fix that problem we were just having. I'm going to read what this is, and I'm going to put this as -30, +30. Okay. So if this is a negative number, it's going to switch over, make it a positive number. It's going to read out here, and it's clamping at 4 to 10, so that I only go to 10 RPS. It's going to kick on reverse when I go into negative, but only if my directional speed it will only kick it into reverse. Let's do a threshold. So if my let's do absolute speed. Where is absolute speed? So absolute speed is down here. So let's put that in here. So if my absolute speed is, let's say, within negative 1 meter per second to 1 meter per second, then it will allow me to kick it in reverse. So that way I'm not slamming it into reverse. It's a little bit, I need an and as well. So there's going to be two conditions here. So if the number is negative, and we're within, nope. Okay, so the speed would have to be from 1 to negative 100, essentially. So it won't put it in reverse unless we're essentially less than 1. Yeah, so I can do that with a less than, be cleaner. So what this is going to be doing is, let's say I'm going 30 meters per second forward, and I command it to do 30 meters per second backward. What it's going to do is it's going to make it so that I have to get slowed down to less than a meter per a meter per second or less, so that it doesn't slam it into reverse, essentially. And then once it's below that, it will put it in reverse. So it needs that and less than 1 1 meter per second, we'll say. All right, let's try that. All right, so that should run the engine. That should do the clutch. That should get me into reverse. Brakes, I'm going to have to do in a minute. So I'm just trying to simplify this. I had it way too complicated. Trying to run through two systems. This is a truck's, this is a truck microcontroller trying to control a train, trying to hook up to a train system. It wasn't going to work easily. It would work eventually, but it would just, like I said, it would drive me absolutely nuts. So directional speed goes in there. All right, let's try to get this moving now. I think this is going to be much simpler to work with and much more fun, frankly. Okay, let's go forward. Let's check on the engine. Okay, 4 RPS. What's the clutch doing? Nada. Okay, FB. Let's check what's up here. Let's go read composite, panel. These are all daisy chained properly. 13, 14. Let's look inside of it. Okay, so we're reading 13, 14. 13, 14, they're counting this out here. Increment is, let's go there. I think my increment was probably too low. Let's, then we have 15, 16. So let's go ahead and let's make a composite right number. 15 and 16. And so, no, not 16 channels. 2 channels. 15. Thank you. This will connect here. And so what this is going to do is this is just going to allow me to read out, my value here. All right. And so let's hopefully that will let me read my values so I know that it's actually moving. So how to do this here? All right, so I have to set up this PID differently now anyway. So let's go ahead and, so this goes there. The clamp has to go afterward. It's kind of a pain, but whatever. Okay, so I'm going to double PID this. This can be deleted. I don't need that. So I'm going to double PID this. I do this on a lot of my set speed builds. So essentially, this needs to read so what this can do is that can move there. This can move here. This can stay there. That's fine there. I'll copy this. Okay, this will move right there. This will go through this clamp here. Then what I'll do is this goes there, and then this one here is my directional speed. Where that should be over here now. Directional speed, okay. All right, so I'll walk you through how I have this going here. So essentially, I use that button panel, and I'm either counting up to 30 to go 30 meters per second forward, or counting down to negative 30 to go 30 meters per second backwards. If I'm going forward, it's going to read straight through the numerical switch box, and it's going to come over to the PID. And it's going to say, hey, I want 30 meters per second. PID's going to compare it to our current speed of whatever, and the PID's going to decide, do we throttle up, do we throttle down? All right. Then that's going to go through a clamp of 4 to 10. That's going to be our minimum RPS, or idle RPS. That's going to be our maximum RPS of 10 RPS. So this could read 1,000, and it's only ever going to send 10 to this next PID. So let's say I want to go 30 meters per second. I'm going 10 meters per second, and I have very heavy load and I'll never get there. Well, this is going to read 10. It's going to compare it to the RPS. The PID's going to give it its maximum number it can give it, and it's going to give us as much throttle as it can go. So it'll give us max 10, essentially. So that's set up, I think. Then if I read a negative number, it's going to flip this numerical switch box, and it's going to take this negative expression so that a negative 30 reads a positive 30, because we want the engine to always operate forwards. And that's going to go ahead and that's going to send, still, run our engine exactly the same. The difference is if it reads less than 0, it's going to put us in reverse so that we go backwards. All right. So I think this will be better. And then, so what I'm hoping is that I set up these gauges here, and they're probably not going to work right, but they're my set speed gauges. And so what these should do is show me if I'm pushing 30 forward, if I'm pushing 30 backward. So you see set speed is now going up. So presently not getting any clutch or any movement. So something's wrong, of course. But as you can see, the set speed's going up. So we should be going 11 meters per second forward. We're certainly not, of course. So we have no clutch. All right. What the heck, man? All right. So let's see what we're doing here. All right, so this is going to be the problem here is I have, I think, a seat component maybe. Okay, this is it right here. So this was part of my seat. And so this here is if the RPS is greater than 5. Let's make that a let's make it a 3.5. And if this is greater than 0, clutch. Okay, try that. See if that works. I know I didn't go through that very much, but alright, still nothing. Alright, so I have a set speed of 7 meters per second. We're doing nothing here, so we have no clutch again. Okay, so it's probably, again, a clutch condition I put in there. Again, this is designed to be for a truck, so it was when I was pressing WS, it needed to move. Alright, so let's see. So I need 2 conditions to do clutching. I need enough torque, so essentially enough RPS. So if the RPS is greater than, let me make sure I have my RPS selected. Okay, RPS. If RPS is greater than 3.5, and this number is greater than 0, I want to increase by a 0.01 increment to a clutch of 1. Okay. And then if the RPS is below 3.5, let's do 4 actually, 4. If it's below 4, I want it to reduce the clutch. So one thing that could be causing problems is my reset here, so I need to read my resets. This one here is going to be causing me a problem. So that is my stop clutch for the truck. So RPS, so if RPS is less than 3.5, or should be starter. Is this starter? That is starter. Okay, so what I want is to hook this here and hook this there, and let's see if this will do it. I know I'm not going through this too much, but I'm just trying to get it up and running, and then once it's up and running, I think it'll be easier to explain. Plus I have tutorials on most of these components, or some of these components at least. Alright, so I assume we have a clutch problem again. Did I connect the clutch? I did. Okay, clutch is connected, so we're still having issues here. Why? Why are we having issues? Alright, so coolant pump, all that's good. Alternator, all I care about is the clutch. So why is this not giving me clutch is the question. So I need to keep going through the clutch here. Alright, so if RPS is less than 3.5, so essentially if I'm going to stall the engine, I want it to reset. If I'm starting, I don't want any clutch during a start. That's all fine. If my RPS is greater than 4, let's bring this down to 3.5, make sure that's not killing me here. And this is greater than 0, which is fine. Then I want that to start giving me clutch. Alright, let's try this. That one thing could have been screwing me up. And let's see where the clutch is going here. Okay, so now we're moving. So was that problem is the engine was running just a hair under 4, so it was not letting me advance. Okay. So let's set the speed here. So we're setting our speed. Let's see how accurate it is. So about 5.4. So that's not really where I want it. 5.4, and we're going 11 meters per second. So let's set it. So I'm still going up, up, up. And this is staying at like 11. It's staying 11 meters per second. Let me see what's up. Clutch should be at 100%. Clutch is dancing. Okay. So let's do this. Let's increase this to... Where am I at here? Right here is where I want to be. So set this. I'm going to set my new idle to 5 RPS. Okay. So my new RPS is 5. Clutch should work fine at these settings. Don't know why the clutch is dropping down clutch though. Let's see if that 5 fixes this and makes this work. We shall see. So I'm setting a speed of 6 or 7, and I'm doing 34 meters per second. No clue why this is doing what it's doing. So it has to modulate the clutch to keep the. Trying to think what's up here. Kind of know why it might be doing this. Trying to figure it out. All right. Where you at there, guy? Where'd it go? All the way over here already? Okay. So I have some thoughts of what it's doing, so I have to screw with it. Let's see. So I kind of want it... It's kind of tough to do full clutching on this. So it's kind of over rambunctious with the clutch. Let me see. So my clutch can't operate this way. This is good for a truck clutch. This is not going to work for, and I'm just going to do this because I can't be bothered to do this the screwy way. I'm going to do this the right way. All right, so I need a Pid Control clutch. That's just what I need. And so essentially what I'm going to do is this will control the speed of the engine, and then the clutch also needs to be controlled off of this. So can I just do that? Let me try this. This may fail miserably, but it's going to essentially be something like that anyway. Let's try this. So it worked, you know, that works as a truck clutch, but this isn't going to work as a train clutch. Okay, so I want to set 2 meters per second. And you see this is pretty damn close to 2 meters per second. All right, let's go to, say, 5 meters per second. Doesn't have to be perfect. Right about 5 meters per second. Okay, good. Let's go ahead and let's go up to 10 meters per second. All right, so this fixed it. So yeah, I was running a truck clutch, and that's not how you do it. You know, so there we go. We're at you know, around 10 meters per second. Let's go ahead and let's go all the way up to 30. So this will also keep me from overspeeding, speeding faster than I want to go, because I want to set this at 30 meters per second and have it go 30 the whole way. So this will automatically rev up the engine as necessary to accommodate it. So it's going to give me clutch and rev, and so what this is going to allow me to do is, let's say, like right now, all right, I'm just traveling with just the locomotive. I'm not hauling any weight, right? So I don't have a ton of cars hanging off the back of my train, so I don't need to rev up my engine very much. Of course, I get a message from some driver update as I'm recording, and so so I set it at 30, right? You can barely hear my engine. Let me go back there and I'll show you. Engine's, you know, engine is at idle right now, okay? And the reason it doesn't need to rev up the engine is I'm just a little locomotive, right? I'm not hauling any weight, and I could still do 30 and not worry about it. Now let's start slowing down. Let's go in reverse. And so what it's going to do is it's automatically going to rev up my engine. Say I add 5 cars. Well, maybe it revs up to 7 RPS. Let's say I add 100 cars that I'll never be able to pull. Well, what's going to happen is the you know, if I put 100 cars on there, what's going to happen is it's going to probably go to 10 RPS because that's my maximum set RPS, and I'll never get up to the speed I want, but that's fine because, you know, it's, you know, the train's not powerful enough for it. So, hope that's not completely unintelligible what I just said. All right, so I'm going to kick it right into reverse, make sure reverse works. And so we're still slowing down at this point. And once it gets below 1, it should kick it in reverse. Okay, we're in reverse. All right, so remember I set that condition. If it's from 1 to negative 100, it will kick it in reverse. I think, are we going in reverse? I cannot tell. Maybe very slowly. Okay. So let's fix the reverse issue here. So it's starting to come together. It was a problem, and it was a mistake for me to try to kind of Frankenstein the 2 panels together. I tend to do this all the time. I'll rewrite a panel. It works better when you rewrite a panel. It really does. So one thing I definitely want to do here is my increment, how fast this goes, way too slow. So let's go 10 times the speed on that so that I can change my speed in a reasonable fashion. Let's go ahead and add brakes. Number input, output brakes. Okay, and so what we're going to do is Pid Control Breaks. And so it should be over here. Okay. And so yeah, so what we'll do is Pid Control Breaks. And so I think we might be able to even do it off of this. So what's going to happen here is I'll have to invert the number, but essentially what's going to happen is, so let's say I want to go forward, right? Can I go up that? Yeah. I'm trying to think. I might have to do a separate PID for the brakes. Let's do this. Update this. Let's save. I will check that other locomotive. I shouldn't have deleted the panel. I deleted it because I was annoyed with it, but shouldn't have deleted it because, you know, I could gain information off of it. So let's go ahead and let's load in my loco here. Now let's stick this here. I want to read how I did the brakes on this. Again, you know, a lot of this is you spend a ton of time figuring things out, and so if you can take from your old builds and kind of figure out how you did stuff, it's always nice. All right, brakes, loco brakes. So essentially what I'm doing here is I'm reading off the PID, the raw PID here, and I am going through, I have to invert it, or I have to go straight. So if, essentially, if I'm in reverse, it will go positive, and if I'm going the other way, it'll go negative. All right, and then this here is parking brake, I believe. Yeah, that's parking brake. So let's go ahead and try to segregate these brake systems. This will work. And I'm kind of just going to drag this stuff over and use this. And this will just make it a lot easier. So this is going to be, this reads from my selector. That reads my linear speed, my property number, my p-value goes there. And then this goes up there for clutch. Okay, so all this loco brakes should work here. All right, so we'll take that. That's going to save me a little bit of time. And okay, so I'm hoping this will save me some time doing it this way. So essentially what I'm going to do is, oh geez, what did I just do that for? Okay, what was that? Alternator. Okay. All right, so this will go slot this right in here. And so what I want to do is, if I'm in reverse, I want to do that numerical switch box there for reverse. Clutch can come up there. Brakes can be clicked into here. Clutch is here. Put it there. It's just telling me what's there. I already know it's there, but... All right, so I'm just kind of moving this around a little bit. There we go. All right, so... trying to read where these change here, so... that's that. This is, okay, so this is parking brake. This is where there were forward or reverse. I need to take this value here. And I want to read, what speed do I want to read? Absolute speed. So not, I think it's got to be directional speed. It's got to be directional speed, I think. And then systems, so where I'm running my systems here, that goes to there to power it. All right, so then this parking brake. I haven't hooked up a parking brake yet, so I'm not worried about that. So let's go ahead and do this, and let's try to run brakes now. So this will help me stop. You saw how long it took because all I was doing is letting it coast. This will let me brake and stop. Let me figure out why my reverse wasn't working. We never went into reverse, so that wasn't good. So have reverse there. So if this number is less than 0, so essentially if I want to go in reverse, and my speed is less than 1, so that way I'm not, you know, crunching it in reverse too fast. That way it will let me go into reverse. And then reverse there. Okay, so let's try this. And we'll just do a, we won't go far. All right. Let's start with reverse. So I want to go 10 meters per second in reverse. Doing absolutely nothing. So these are my reversers. So let's see if we're getting signal. Gear is true. So we should be in reverse. Clutch is negative. Clutch should never be negative. Yep. So something's up with my clutch, reading a negative signal. I thought that was clamped. Okay, so this clutch here needs to be, this should always be positive anyway. So this, yeah, so this should always be reading a positive signal. Anyway, I don't know why that would do that. Let's put a clamp on there anyway, just to keep it clean and operating the way I want it to. So that would be 0 to 1. Okay. So switching the gears over, let's make sure I actually selected the gears and made them negatives. -1, -1, ratio on. -1, -1, ratio on. Alright, let's see why this isn't working. Because that clutch isn't engaging for reverse, so. Alright, let's go in reverse. So -30. Okay, so am I reading one of the wrong speedos? That could be it. If I'm reading the wrong speedo, it doesn't know. It's trying to go in reverse, but it doesn't know to clutch up, so that could be it. Well, let me check my two speedos here. So we have absolute, which should read positive at all times. We have directional, which should read positive and a negative. Okay. So because I want the positive all the time, my absolute, to read my speedometer. All I want that to do is to always tell me that I'm going forward. So directional, let's check directional here. All right, speed directional. Let's see where speed directional is going here. Speed directional goes here. So this is brakes. So speed directional, that's fine. All right, so this is reading speed directional. So clutch. Let's see how this interferes with clutch. So all right, so clutch should not be speed directional. Clutch should be speed absolute, I believe. So let's see if that fixes it. I thought I made speed absolute. I did. It's down here, speed absolute. Let's try reading that and see if that fixes it. I think I just screwed it up, but let's try. Yeah, I screwed it up. Clutch is not going to know what to do now. Alright, so I need to look at this clutch a little bit more closely and figure out what's up. So, yeah, so that should be speed absolute. Because this is always going to send me a positive number. So if it's a positive number, okay, let's think about this for a second. So if it's a positive number, all right, so let's say I do -30. -30 comes through here, it reads through, it gives me a positive 30. So that should be speed absolute, which is fine. Let me see where else speed absolute is going. So speed absolute goes up there. Speed absolute, nope, this should be directional. All right, so this is wrong. Speed directional should read here. Speed absolute should read there. Here, nice, we got straight lines there. I'm gonna screw up trying to do this straight in line bullshit. All right, let's try this. Okay, -20. Let's check some of our stuff here. Clutch is not behaving, I assume. Yep. Those are fine. That's simple. That's fine. That's working. Let's see why the clutch still isn't behaving. We could still go forward. Okay, so I need to just think this out for a second here. All right, so speed absolute comes in. All right, so I say I want 30. It goes in here. It reads, hey, you're doing 10. You want 30, give you more power. Okay, good. I say I want negative 30. Hey, I want to go backwards. This converts it to a positive number. Okay. This converts it to a positive number. So now it says, hey, I want 30, but in backwards, this says, hey, you're doing 10. Give you a clutch. So how's that going to work, though, if it's inverting the number? All right, so what I'm going to do is separate the clutch. So right now I'm trying to be too cute and have, you know, the same system that runs this run the clutch, and I don't think that's a good idea. Clutch should be on its own PID. So what I'll do is I'll copy this. Let's do this. Update this. Let me grab it off of this. I know this one works for clutch, and let me see exactly how I did this. That's brakes. Let's see where clutch goes in here. Now where's clutch? Here's clutch. So we get our number, negative or positive. I clamp it so that it only goes -1 or +1. I definitely don't want to do that. No, that's fine. Why would I run? Oh, then I flip it here. Okay, so that's fine. That will work. So I should be able to take this before I put it through the numerical switch box and run that. Okay. So we're getting on time here. I just want to get this running, and then I can button it up later. All right, so let's go ahead and paste this here. So what this is going to do is before I do the flippy flue here, I'm going to hook this up. Okay. So I want to take this here. I'm going to plug that there. This goes into a clamp here. So we're going to do its own clutch system here. And this will go here. All right, and then systems power I need to run that PID. And then what am I comparing it to? So it goes positive and negative, this number. And so what I need to do is I need to do directional speed. If I could find directional speed now. Where are you at there, directional speed? What is this function here? What did I cut something? What is this? This is a dash. This is something for the dash. I don't even know what this is or why I need it anymore. Okay, so this I don't need. This is from a different build. So it's always good to delete some of that stuff. I don't need it. It's just in the way. There we go. All right, so where's my speed, my directional speed? Speed, directional. Okay. That will go up to here. All right, let's try to see if I can make this work. I want to get this working before I end the episode. All right, let's try to go in reverse. There we go. What's my set speed? 9. There we go. So this is working now. So again, you know, I figured all this out on a different build. It helps to just go back to that build and use that build. Let's go ahead and let's go the other direction. Okay, so we're having issues there with stalling. Okay. So my auto clutch is, I need to put in a condition for auto clutching to, Let's see. Okay, so I have a different way to run this so that I can cause that, stop that from happening here. So let's build something here. So this is going to read either -1 or +1. So what I'm going to do is we'll do an up-down counter. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. And I might be able to simplify this later, but I'm not going to bother right now. I just want to get this done. So clamping 1, -1, we want to do a threshold. So if trying to think how I want to do this. I know I don't need to enable that, but I do anyways. All right, let's try this. And then if my standard condition for you know, if I want to essentially idle the clutch is if the RPS gets too low. So I don't think I have that in there anymore. So what I want to do is if the RPS is below if RPS is less than 3.5, that will zero out the clutch before it stalls. So let's try that. I'll probably be able to simplify that. I'm just trying to get it to work, and then I can go back and simplify. All right, so let's go in reverse. Wow, now nothing's working. Oh, come on, man. It's got to be a clutch issue, I bet. Yeah. All right. All right, what's going on here? So, if I set my speed to -30, it's reading speed directional. It's going to give me a 1. If it's a 1, it's going to increase. So that I needed that setup there to make it so that it was positive. Okay, so I kind of know what to. I think I kind of know what to fix here. Let's grab this again. It's kind of annoying what's happening here, but I'll fix it in a second here. So where's clutch now? There, so it's not bad. I'll just grab this again. Okay. So let's stick this back in. So everything was working on this except when I went reverse. So that goes to there. Okay. And then this here can all go away. This can go back. So let's put it back the way it was. The only issue I'm having is when I'm switching from forward to reverse, it's stalled out. And so what I want to do is let's see. I could do it maybe simply by doing what is this? Okay, that's fine. So what I could do is instead of having this powered by this, if RPS is greater than 3.5, let's try that. We'll turn on the PID, then it will shut the PID off if it doesn't do that. So let's go there. If RPS is greater than 3.5, so this will essentially idle the clutch. It may not. I think I'll read a 0 if I do this. Let's try this. Okay, we're going to reverse. Okay, let's go the other way. That's not doing what I want. fine. Doesn't seem fine, but it is fine. Alright, so what I want to do is send this back to system. I kind of know what I want to do here. So that can go. Okay. So that gives me a clamp number for this. So what I want to do is go through the numerical switch box here. I don't know why I'm clamping this negative. That's part of the problem. No point in this going negative and doing all this nonsense here. Let's try doing a regular clamp of 0 to 1. See if this will do it here. No. Okay, so it doesn't like the negative number. It'll probably go for it if I do positive number. Yep, it does. Okay, so brakes are working, all that's working. So I'm kind of on the right track here of what I have to do, so that's fine. So, trying to think how to get this to work the way I want it. Okay, so I'm trying to think how to do. So the problem is here is this is going to read a negative. Let's try doing this. The problem is it doesn't like the negative number. Negative number is going to give the clutch a positive number. So if this goes negative, it needs to do this to operate. The difference is I need to have this essentially shut off if it's going to stall the engine out. So. All right. Let me drop this number down to half that as well. We'll give it a little bit slower clutch movement as well. Just playing with things, trying to get it tuned up here and get it working right. Okay, there's reverse. Let's go the other way. So, shouldn't be stalling. Stalling's a problem. Okay. So I need to do something to get rid of the frickin' stalling, man. Alright, so let's try doing an up-down counter here. So this is adding nice granular clutch. That's what I want. Yeah, it's running a nice granular clutch. I'm trying to see why the hell this isn't working though. Let's go ahead and update this. Again, I had it working on the other one, so let's see why. This is one of the reasons why I brought that panel in, was just to get it to work. So let's see. So it's part of this system here is why that was working, I think. So, okay, so part of it probably here is the difference of how this shuts down. So it's like, okay. So that's reading up there. So there's a couple conditions there. Let's go back. I don't want to take too much of the junk out of that. That's the problem. All I need to do is kill the stall is essentially what I need to do. So let's try plugging it through here again with a couple thresholds. So if it's 1, increase. All right. So if it's one increase that, I'll start adding clutch. But I need something to reduce clutch as well. Trying to think how to make this frickin' thing work here, right? Alright, so I wanted to essentially, it needs to let up off the clutch as I'm trying to go in reverse, so that's annoying. That should be 3. Being lazy or trying to just grab stuff instead of just doing it, but alright, I'll end this in a second here. I'm just trying to get this somewhat in a reasonable state. So what this is going to do is when the clutch, when it slams it in reverse, it needs to when it slams it in reverse, it needs to essentially zero the clutch out. So hopefully that will do it. No, it's supposed to be greater. Ah, come on, man. Okay, if this is RPS is greater than 3.5, 3.5, start the PID. Hopefully that zeroes the PID out. That goes there. I'm going to read the clutch number on a dial so I can see what it's doing visually. That's part of the problem, is I'm not seeing what it's doing. And that's frustrating me because I can't conceptualize what this is doing. So plugging this into the clutch here is going to fix that. Where you got clutch there. All right. So let's get in there. Let's see what we can do here. Alright, so let's go in reverse. Okay. So that's good. Let's go forward. Okay, so the PID is remembering the number. It's doing it. It's just you get the number down to 0. Part of it is part of it too is this is just moving too fast now. So see, like I can slam this in reverse too fast. Okay, so let me try changing the setting of this. So let's do let's see if this will work without causing restart issues. There we go. Okay, so that fixed it. So I was able to slam this in reverse before it could figure out what it was doing. So let's go the other way again. So we can see the clutch. The clutch is hanging around 0. Alright, so I think I might kind of... I want to get this clutch done before I end the episode. It's dragging on, I know, but it's... I think we're getting close here. So, the PID's controlling the clutch, which I don't think is the right thing to do. Okay, PIDs shouldn't be controlling the clutch, period. It just shouldn't be. Alright, so up-down counter, I want to control the clutch. If the starter is on, I want it to idle the clutch. I want 0.001, 0.001, 0.01. I want to enable that. I want clutch full of 1. Okay, good. This goes to the clutch. Okay, so now I need to set up some conditions of when I add more clutch. Okay. And so these conditions are as follows. So I need an RPS setting. So if RPS is greater, if RPS is greater than 3.5, okay, and this number here is greater than 0, increase. If the RPS is not greater than 3.5, decrease the clutch. All right. Let's try this. This is kind of my old truck clutch. Let's see how this works. Does it only work in one direction again? Yep, it's only working in one direction again. Gotta fix that. Alright. So my mind could just be broken at this moment too. So that's, I need the RPS component. That's going to keep me from stalling. This component here is, this is always positive. So no matter what, this is always positive. That's fine. The issue is I'm not kicking into reverse. I don't know why I'm not kicking into reverse. So it's always giving me a positive clutch, which is fine. The issue I'm having is why is it not kicking it into reverse? So let's test it like that, figure out why it's not kicking it into reverse, because it should always be positive clutching it. It just shouldn't be. So let's try it going in reverse and seeing why I'm not clutching or gearing. If I'm not clutching, we have a clutch issue still. We do. And it is kicking it in reverse, so something is up. Alright, so what is going on here? So if my number is, see, this automatically inverts itself. So this should be always a positive number. So if this positive number here is greater than 0, and that's going, why are you not giving me a clutch then, you donkey? See, this number should be positive. All right, I'm going to figure this out on my own. I'll end the episode here. I'm probably boring the hell out of everybody. And I will see you in the next one.